The current meta in World of Tanks seems to favor mobility and armor, which it has been for a while, and that's why tanks like the M48 Patton are so good. But it's kind of changed which tanks I've been grinding for, which brings us to the tank in front of us, the KV-1S. I'm grinding down this line because I want the Object 277 and the IS-7, which are both pretty decent tanks, and I should double check that this tank gets me to the 277. Yes, it does. I want this tank because I want the 277, and I can also basically get 3 tier 10s with this line, so that's good. But I want the 277, and inevitably when grinding, you're going to have to play a bunch of stock tanks. So for today's video, I'm going to be playing the KV-1S 100% stock. Now, I'm going to be cheating a bit. I do have equipment already purchased, so because I already have equipment purchased, I'm not going to like sink credits into a tier 5 tank, but I have equipment already. It costs 10 gold to demount, so I'll put like a rammer on, toolbox for the repair and shit, and probably a GLD. I should have one. There we go. We have a GLD, but 100% stock. We have no modules. We've got basically a 75% crew, and this is going to be bad. So typically speaking, as a rule of thumb, what happens with low tier tanks is they get worse pen, worse alpha. Depends on the tank, worse gun handling, and generally speaking, you'll get higher DPM because you have worse alpha, worse pen. And so what you want to do with a tank that like a KV-1S, which is stock, is you want to spend a bit more of your time grinding out credits so you can actually shoot more gold in this vehicle, because that's going to actually make the tank, you know, somewhat playable against other vehicles. A lot of people ask me for tips from grinding stock tanks. It's like, shoot gold. That's your friend. Like, take 3 games in a premium tank, grind a premium tank for 3 games, and then play 2 tanks with gold in your stock tank. And that's generally how I go about, you know, that when I used to grind stock tanks, that's what I would do. So in this one, we're on Mountain Pass. It's a standard game. Now, because this vehicle is so slow, my rule of thumb on a map like this is to go where the majority of players will go, because it's like, we're going to be stock. We don't want to chase tanks around. And normally I'd go to J2, but in like, this is low tiers. There's tons of bad players. Bad players on this map either go to the mid here or the ice road. And so we're actually going to go to the ice road. It's not terrible strategically speaking. The reason the ice road's bad is because if people sit back here, it's hard to push into them. But as long as you don't push into that, you should be fine. So we're going to drive forwards. Hopefully we have some type of support coming with us. And yeah, good. We've got a KV-220. So we have like an OP KV-220 with us. We've actually got a 3.8 second reload. What's our alpha? 110 and 86 pens. So we don't actually have the worst gun. I should be pretty reasonable. What I have to do here is I have to be like a medium tank that's fucking slow, and I'm going to let the KV-220 and the Excelsior that are with me take the hits, and we're just going to DPM people down, go for tracks, things like that. Should be how we're getting a lot of the experience. Why am I being told to fall back? It's okay, I don't need to fall back. Follow me. I'm being a... Oh my god, he's like, fall back, and I'm like, no, and I'm like, follow me, and he says, okay. Let's go. Jesus Christ. Oh. Alright, so there's a Lux and a Panzer IV 5.4 in the mid, and a Panzer IV-H. These tanks will become problems if they push the mid, but you see how many tanks we have over there. It's not going to be a problem. Now, these guys over here might get rushed from the 1-2 line. I don't really know the meta in these low tiers, so we'll see. Right now I'm just driving into people because I don't want these guys to hit us. So I need to kind of drive forwards a bit, because you see we don't have many people on the bridge, and so we have to push through the ice road quickly, otherwise the bridge will farm us. And I don't even know if we can ever pen this guy. He's just pure red. Unfortunately, this tank doesn't shoot very quickly. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this rocket between myself and the Sarl, and we're going to go after this guy, and we can just honestly auto-aim him and not drive into the SARL. Cool. KV-220 is probably going to finish him off. No, I can. Now we have to aim for this guy's lower plate, and I'm angling this upper front plate. I don't know if this guy has HE, but should be fine. Okay, cool. Lower plate. So Churchill 3 behind. Now the Churchill 3 is a huge threat in this tier because they've just got such high DPM, and a lot of Churchill 3 players will just spam pure gold. Now you can see I can't pen him. So we've got gold. This guy's getting fucked. So this Churchill 3 is definitely spamming gold. He's probably not going to run out either. And this guy's going to carry this flank, especially if I can't get shots. Okay, so my opinion is that this guy can do very well here. I just have to kind of angle my armor hardcore and hope that he misses a lot of his shots. I'm going for his turret, that's the weak spot. And you can see it's actually kind of inconsistent to pen, but we've been pretty lucky. So what I have to do is I have to watch the map. If the Churchill's focusing me down, not really worth engage. This guy took a lot of damage right there. Check out this gun handling. It's awful. Okay. Now it's just me against the Churchill. He's got me. Look, he's just shooting pure gold. Okay, so I have to fall back here, because he's got this fight. I need him to get out of his hull down position, because he can just DPM me down. And what I have to do, what's my alpha? 110, I just checked that. So he's a 3-shot. There's a 67 supporting, so I have to fall back even further. And we're going to have to try to sneak some shots in. He's got me. So if I fall back like this, I should be fine. And the Panzer IV might come join me. Okay, we're going to take damage falling back, but there's nothing I can do. Okay, so I've fallen back to try to get this guy's support because, you know, if they come towards me, that's fine. Here I can just disengage the Churchill entirely, and that's my best play because this guy's in a better position. Now, right now, he's in the open. Is he stopped? Yeah, he is. So if he's stopped like this, I'm not going to engage him. I'm going to wait till he's shooting for the most part. And I can try reverse side scraping here. He's got a lot of ground to cover, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what's called reverse side scraping. That's driving like this, and I should be side scraping pretty decently. He can just fucking pen me, man. Christ. That guy penned too. We're gonna just try to get one more shot into him. No. Okay. So I have to just try to get one more shot of damage. We're up to 1,000, so that's not like a bad result. Maybe I can get one into this M5. Okay, that one doesn't go in. You can see the Panzer IV-D isn't coming to help me, but this position allows him to try. And the Churchill got me. So that's my first game, actually, that I've ever played in this tank. We'll go play another. I would love for that to be a win, but, you know, that's my attempt in a stock tank. We're going to have to try again. I want to see if I can break 1,051 damage, but we'll see. So for my first game in the KV-1S, I'm actually really happy with that result. We came first place on the team. We ended up doing, well, we beat the second guy by about 20 damage. 20 damage. I'm pretty bad at math. 23 damage. There we go. 23 damage. We beat the second place guy, and he beat everyone else by like 2.5 times. So, you know, pretty good results in my opinion for a first game. It's not as good as I wanted though. I wanted to see if I could do somewhat better and actually get a double in this tank. So we're going to play it again. We'll see what happens. Normally when I pop into a game, I generally have an idea immediately of what the strat is going to do. It takes me a bit to articulate it, but on a map like this, we're stock, we're bottom tier, like we're actually middle tier, so it's actually okay. A huge part of me wants to go Valley, and the reason for that is if you go Valley, you're often fighting against really bad players, and like, I'm stock. I don't really want to be driving across like an open field like this to go to the city and find no one there. Now, I don't think I'm going to go Valley, and that's because it's a KV-1S and it's super slow, and I don't have gun depression. They have 2 arty, but normally if they didn't have arty and I had some sort of gun depression, I would kind of definitely go Valley because it's like I could actually fight a large portion of their team, especially low tier. They're not going to be too great of players, and so, you know, that's kind of the justification for going Valley. Now, in here, we're obviously going to the little town, and that's because I can run away from the town. I don't really have to worry about getting arty as much, and we should have support, which is actually important. If we didn't have support, I would just go Valley and hope that I don't get clicked, but yeah, we actually have a KV-1 coming with us, so that's good. So, coming into the city, we should expect to fight maybe half of their heavies because this is low tier, and you'd expect some of their low tier heavies to not be that great at the game, even if they have like 30k plus battles. You know, people like this KV-1, like I'm not being a dick, I'm not trying to call them out, but you know, you would expect reciprocal enemies who are playing like our KV-1 is. So we'll see if all their heavies go to the city. That's really going to suck for me. Hopefully not. We have a VK also coming with us, but he is slow. So one thing to pay attention to is how your team is deploying. These guys are taking forever to come with us. Well, I would assume that a KV-1 would come to the city, but he's stopped on the map. You can see that's because he's looking for shots into the city because he's clearly not like hyper experienced. So right now I'm actually overextending. For me to like push all the way into the city where the Excelsior is would be suicide because like, you know, I have one teammate with me to support. I can't go pushing into potentially 4 or 5 tanks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on this corner. That's going to allow the enemies to drive up like so. That's going to give the ELC AMXs shots if they push into, you know, where I am. And what I'd want to do is I want to hold the enemies in this town right here, and I don't want them to get behind this ridge because that's going to prevent the AMX ELC from shooting. Now, if this KV-1 pushes in, I'll follow him because I don't want him going to die all alone. That would be like a waste of his life. I can, you know, help him at the very least. So we're going to follow him, but by now what will have happened is the enemies will get... Yeah, I can't deal with the T14. I'm stock. I've tried that. I played last game on proc and it didn't work against the T14. And they're really hard to pen, so we'll go for shots. And I hit the Panzer 454. Oh. I just got this guy killed. I didn't even notice. I figured he would know to reverse. Damn, I got him killed. I'm sorry, dude. I feel like I got him killed. Regardless, I owe him an apology, but okay, this is where it's going to be rough because I can't deal with the T14. His tank outclasses mine. So my only play is actually to not engage him and hope my teammates kill him. So that's what we're going to do. There's an M7 over here. Definitely can shoot at him. We've got, I think, 110 alpha. He's 112, yeah. Okay, so if I can high roll the M7, that'd be great. He's clearly just waiting for me to shoot or do something, or like get distracted, so it's not going to work. This guy might drive in front of me. You can see I'm falling back. That's allowing my teammates to support me, and the fact that they're in here allows people like the Matilda BP and what were the ELCs to get shots. So these guys are in a platoon, so they're pushing in like so. What that means is they're probably going to distract people. Let's see if we can get a kill on the M7 who might have pushed up. He hasn't. And I'm actually going to push in with this ELC to see if I can get some damage out of this. Holy shit, I didn't spot anyone. Okay, so I'm just going to auto aim. We're going to fall back because the Excelsier's in a position that I definitely didn't expect him to be in. Okay, get the track, and from here I can maybe... I think his DPM outclasses mine. Okay, so I put a shot into the Excelsier's turret. That didn't go in. The T-14's clearly just farming. He's in a good position right now. They're ignoring the ELCs, which is definitely the right thing for them to do. I don't have the gun depression to deal with Excelsior unless I went super wise, so that's not going to work. This guy's being fucking annoying. Okay, so this is why I carry a large repair kit in a toolbox. They're one of the best investments a heavy tank driver, especially at this tier, can make, as if you don't have, like, a repair crew. We're just getting spotting damage here, man. Okay, that's not going to go in. I saw green somewhere. Where's the green? This is orange. Okay, good. We're shooting gold and kind of making it through his upper front plate. The M7 fired. This game is actually almost over. What we're going to do is we're going to see if we can kill the M7. Then we're going to go back to base, because that's where we're going to get slightly more damage. And then I think I'm going to just... hopefully we'll be out of this tank soon enough. Switching to AP, because I care about my credits to a degree. This guy will know he hasn't. Okay, so we get the kill on the M7. So we didn't get a lot of damage there, and that's because we were up against tanks that we couldn't fight. You can imagine if we were against like tier 7s, this tank would be super bad because like the 102 gold pen is just not... Like, I didn't know the exact gold pen, but it's literally 12 more. No, it's not 12. It's 16 more or something. I'm bad at math. Don't take my word for it right now. I'm trying to talk. But, you know, the gold pen is nowhere near enough to, like, actually deal with anything above tier 5. So I've been really lucky to be against low tiers. My first upgrade choice on this tank is probably going to be the gun, because I've played 4 games in a row. They've all been where I've been kind of top tier, so it's been okay. But if I already fight against tier 6s or even tier 7s, that, like, 110 gold pen is not... I can't do anything with that, so, you know, try flanking people with, like, no engine and 110 gold pens, so 300 damage. I'm literally going to post a 300 damage game on YouTube, but hopefully this game is, like, hopefully this type of thing's informative for people, because it's just not, this is normal. Like, I'm in a shitty situation. I don't have a lot of things that I can work with, and if I was bottom tier, it'd be even worse, so we might get the kill shot on him. The Matilda gets it, but, you know, that's 529 damage. So definitely a better game than it would have been, but I'm not going to get any more out of this, especially with already focusing. Christ, I just got perma-tracked by already, but you know what I mean? Like, that's what you have to work with when you're stock, and even players who are in, like, the top 0.01% have trouble with playing stock tanks. So I hope this video was helpful. If you want to see more, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I hope to see you around. Later, guys. Bye-bye. One quick note, I just mounted the Top Gun on the KV-1S. You can see that was actually the first thing I researched. I had the radio already researched, but literally on the KV-1S, the stock gun's gold pen is lower than the second gun's standard pen. So, like, for reference, you know, 102 is the gold pen on the stock one, 119 is the gold pen on the other one. So this tank with its upgraded gun can actually handle tier 7s with 160 gold pen, but, like, you know, stock tanks are hard to deal with as it is. I would suggest using at least, like, some XP to often get the gun on vehicles, because often you can deal with slowness, but if you can't pen who you're shooting at, like, you know, you can be as fast as you want. It doesn't help anything. So yeah, that's the video. I hope it was helpful. If you want to see more, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I hope to see you around. Later, guys. Bye-bye.